season ago. Check out his numbers, his yards, receptions, and 10-yard rushing touchdown, tops in the league. And that yak, that's what it's all about up there as well. When it comes to Deebo, who's still looking for a new home, we'll see the closer we get to the season. All right, Ryan Harris still hanging in with us here. And, of course, we got to talk to Niners. But first, we got to talk about Deebo Samuel. Look, it's been the story of the offseason for him, trying to find a new home, but he's there. When you look at this situation, is there a resolution somewhere near the end here?
I do not believe so. I mean, Deebo Samuel's willing to part ways, almost $100,000. I don't care how rich you are. That's a statement. And he also additionally has said he does not want to play that role of kind of running back wide receiver. So not only do you not know if you can pay him the money that's around $30 million now per year for a wide receiver, but you don't know what your offense looks like when you pay him. And for Deebo Samuel, you want to go to a place that says, hey, we're happy to listen to you. We won't rush you like a running back. We got a guy like that. Why don't you just come, be a receiver, and get the big money? So the only situation I see as an outcome for this is Deebo Samuel getting traded. Now, what's interesting, could you package Deebo Samuel and Jimmy G? So the 49ers have some options here. I credit Deebo Samuel for declaring his value and wanting his value, but he's making it tough on the 49ers, who don't know that even if they pay him, what he will be like for them, as he does not want to be used in the way that he was used to successfully get them to that NFC divisional round last year.
You talk about Deebo, of course. We saw exactly what he did on the field, pretty much everything for that offense in the backfield, in the slot, outside. What would be the perfect fit if he is traded? What's an offense that comes to your mind real quickly?
Well, sometimes teams want to punish a player for this. So you could send a Deebo Samuel to somewhere like the New England Patriots. They haven't had a great receiver for a while there. But if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm really interested in a conversation with Deebo Samuel. Maybe we don't give you the deal you want, but we will, wink, wink. And then maybe they get back to win a Super Bowl and they let Deebo Samuel walk. So he's got plenty of options. I think the Texans are a great option. The Texans now have 2 first-round picks next year. That could be a conversation that if I'm the GM, Mr. Lynch over there, I'm saying, hey, Texans, how about you give me 2 picks? I'll send you Deebo Samuel. That would be the first call I make, but you could send him to the Patriots, punish him for standing up, because one of the things the Patriots don't do, they don't pay the receivers, and they don't let people have their own persona outside of the team. But I would look for the Houston Texans to be a great landing spot for Deebo Samuel.
As you mentioned, of course, he's not the only one that may be looking to get out the door of the 49ers. Jimmy G, we thought during draft day we would see him maybe go to the Panthers, the Browns. That didn't happen. He's still there. They're still wondering about the shoulder. Also, teams want to see if he could throw. But what do you expect the outcome for Jimmy G once he finds his new home?
I expect the outcome to be traded. He could very well end up on the roster starting week 1, though. And the thing with Jimmy G, I always say, give it the relationship test. Could any of us walk home and say, hey, significant other, I love you. I think you're great. I've got someone to replace you who's staying here too. And oh, by the way, you're excused from the 4th of July celebration. I mean, duck and cover. Look out for that. I mean, Jimmy G's gone 4-2 in the playoffs. His only 2 losses being to the Super Bowl champions of that season. What more can he do to earn the respect that he somehow has yet to get? I expect him to be traded. And there's going to be some markets, I think, even in the division. You may even have to trade Jimmy G to the Seahawks if the Seahawks get through training camp and don't like what they have at quarterback. You have a situation at the Browns. You don't know what's going on there. So there are plenty of options every time of year. And really, I expect him to get moved either right before the preseason or right after, depending on his health.
Once Jimmy G is gone, we all expect Trey Lance to be QB1. We saw glimpses of that last season when Jimmy G was missing in action a little bit. But without Mike McDaniel, what do you expect from the second-year quarterback here?
Well, the best thing about it for the 49ers, they got Brian Griese to come in. So I expect Trey Lance will be better in a lot of ways than he showed even last year in practices and in the short game abilities he had. Anytime you have a former player who knows the position, who's been there, they give you all these little contextual tweaks. Yes, you want to make this throw, but if this throw is open, that means that this is also open. Or, hey, look for this guy. I mean, one of the Hall of Fame quarterbacks I played with, I said to him once, what do you look for in a defense to determine whether you're going to change the play? He said, I look for the liar. Anybody who's going to stand back there in a cover 2, well, soon enough, one of those safeties is going to start to move. And when that happens, then I change the play. Well, now even as a lineman, I'm looking downfield. So by bringing in Brian Griese to help Trey Lance, that could tremendously benefit the young quarterback who every NFL player, when they get to the NFL, is trying to learn and consume so much information. The game has changed, even the football. So Brian Griese is going to have a huge impact on Trey Lance.
All right, so still question marks on that offensive side when it comes to the Niners. Let's look on the defense here. But Aaron Donald's $31.5 million deal, of course. This might affect Nick Bosa, who's been a sack daddy himself. By the way, his next year, his fifth-year option might need to be picked up. But if you're thinking long-term here, how does that affect Nick Bosa in contract discussions down the road?
Mo money, and that's a song that the kids listen to, I heard. I mean, that's going to be a big deal. And if you're Bosa, you're saying you're not paying a quarterback, so it's time to pay me. Players are very aware of where the big money contracts are on a team, and the 49ers really don't have any of those guys, especially if they're not going to pay Jimmy Garoppolo this year. So Bosa's going to get as much as he possibly can, and he should. I mean, he has earned it. He had 15.5 sacks last season. The key for him is, can he stay healthy? Can he add to that 15.5 sacks? If he does so, you could be, I mentioned could be looking at $35 million per year for a defensive end. That is insane. But Nick Bosa has the talent. The only question is, can he stay healthy to contribute all season long for the 49ers?
One of those top guys to get after the pass rusher or get after the passers we've seen come off the edge for the Niners. How about a rookie maybe that might have the biggest impact on either side of the ball here for the Niners?
Well, I like their wide receiver, Danny Gray, coming out of Southern Methodist University. He has elite speed. He kind of looks like a younger Deebo Samuel as well. This is a player that could have a tremendous impact on an offense who doesn't know who their quarterback is, who their star receiver is. And if he can just come in and learn the offense, play fast, handle the football, that's going to be a big impact. He played some big-time football at SMU, but if he's ready to go week one, that could be a star player that they have in Danny Gray.
You talk about Danny Gray real quickly. You think that is maybe the replacement for Deebo Samuels, if that's the case?
Absolutely, and that draft pick was made knowing that they had this situation with Deebo Samuel ongoing. So they wanted to make sure that they had a backup choice. And Danny Gray, he's exciting. That's a player that, you get to your fantasy football drafts, Brandon, you got an extra couple picks. Look for Danny Gray on that roster because a lot of people are going to miss him.
I'll take it. Danny Gray, why not? I can use it as a wide receiver 3 or 4. You know, guys get injured, as we've talked about throughout the season. All right, what's the most difficult stretch for the 49ers this season? I know you went the second half for the Rams, but what do you see here for the Niners?
Similar. I mean, October 23rd, they have the Chiefs, Rams, Chargers, Cardinals, Saints. Woo! That's going to be a tough sledding part of this schedule. And the other thing about this is they have to show that they're able to compete at a high level. They've had early season success. They've had year-long success in the regular season, but they have to find an edge. It's strange to think about the success that Kyle Shanahan's had at the 49ers, and you still don't really know what kind of a team they are. Are they an aerial assault team? Are they a rushing team? Are they a defensive team? So they have to find their identity and get through that schedule from the 23rd on. Again, the Chiefs, Rams, Chargers, Cardinals, Saints. That's going to be a tough sledding at that point of the year. And again, October, that's a difference maker. That's a difference-making month in the NFL, and it will be for the 49ers, for the best or for the worst.
They won 10 games a year ago. They found their swagger a little bit towards the end, getting into those double-digit marks there. Record prediction, are they going 12 again? Under, over? What are you thinking?
I'm going under. I see 9-7 when I look at this schedule. And who knows if 9-7 can still get you into the playoffs in the NFC? Not going to happen in the AFC, right? But in the NFC, they might have a chance there. They're going to have to pick up a game somewhere in that kind of window of the 23rd. The Chiefs, Rams, Chargers, Cardinals, Saints, they go 4 or 5. Well, now that's a different deal. They've also got the Raiders on that schedule. They've got the Falcons, who I think are a sneaky team. So, I mean, that's going to be a tough way to get past that 10-win mark. They got to play the Cardinals, of course, twice. So that's something that's going to affect them as well. But I really think that they'll have 9 wins and be 9-7, and that'll start questions about whether Kyle Shanahan's the long-term answer in San Francisco. All
right, we'll see how that pans out there. How about a future bet for the Niners when it comes to their case in 2022?
I'll take the under on total wins. I think that's something that you're going to get that win total of 10. I like that 9 wins. Could be wrong. I always like to say that. Always entertain yourself with disposable income after you've invested and have some assets. but I like the win total under. And I like, though, them to win the NFC at plus 750. That's a fun bet, a little pizza bet money. Put one or two